Happy Valentine's Day weekend, everybody. We just saw Madam Web in IMAX. That's right, in IMAX. But is it any good? We'll talk. Hi, how you doing today? It's Just Jess here. Hope you're having a good day. And today, yes, so we saw Madam Web in IMAX, but is it worth it in that format? Honestly, probably not for most humans. I don't think it's filmed or shot for IMAX. I could not find real evidence like I do normally on this review YouTube channel for you folks, such as various links, sources, and websites, so you don't get the extended aspect ratio. Now, what does that mean for you as a viewer? That means you get to experience black bars on top and the bottom of the screen, which I did feel as well when I saw it in IMAX, and I was waiting for it to go to the expanded aspect ratio. But even though it's not made for that format, you can still watch it in that premium format, but just letting you know it doesn't take up the entire screen like they normally do if it was shot or filmed for IMAX. Even so, you still get the amazing proprietary sound that provides powerful in-depth audio experience. The cast is perfect and beautiful, by the way. I mean, they're literally gorgeous women. Most will not buy an IMAX ticket or even watch this movie due to low critic scores and audience. Madam Web is a sci-fi action-adventure superhero movie releasing this February just in time for Valentine's Day weekend from Sony and Marvel. It stars the perfect and beautiful women, and when I mean perfect and beautiful women, yes, they are perfect and beautiful women, such as Dakota Johnson, Sweeney, Isabela Merced, and Celeste O'Connor. After drowning in an incident that leaves her dead for 3 minutes, she is resuscitated back to life, but she experiences visions, seeings of the future. She does not know what it is or how to control it, but she does think she is going crazy. At a conjuncture at the point of the story, she encounters the other three beautiful women from the marketing material or that she sees in her everyday life, such as New York train station, where they all meet and the killer is going to come. So she sees that vision and tries to stop and telling her, hey, get off this bus, we need to go away, which starts this wild goose chase in order to escape from the killer. Will the killer find his way to kill all these beautiful women, or will Dakota Johnson's Madam Web save them at the end of the day? Find out as we talk about it. I'm gonna be very honest with you right now. I am a glass half full person. I'm not gonna bash out this movie, even though the popular thing right now is to hate on this movie, say how bad it is, because that will give me likes, that will give me subscribers, that will give me good feedback, because a lot of people love negativity. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm not like that. I'm not really that negative. I am a positive type dude. I am thankful, and I'm thankful to God that I even get to go to the theaters. Remember, a few years ago, we couldn't even have the theaters in movies because they were taken away from us from, the 19 pandemics thing. But still, I can't be that negative towards a movie because every experience, I love going to the theaters. I'm thankful for the theaters. And I just love being that, Yes, this movie has a lot of criticism and it's actually not that good, but I'm not going to frame this review and saying, it's bad, it sucks, it's the worst movie ever. No, I'm just not like that. I just can't be like that. It's Valentine's Day weekend. I look good, I feel good, I smell good. I got plans to get some martinis this weekend, some salmon, some music, some house music. So I'm not in a bad mood, especially to even put a negative spin on this review. Yes, there is a lot of problems, and yes, we will talk about it, how they could do better. But at the end of the day, I'm just not like that. So I'm sorry if you came in for that. I'm just not that type of dude. And let's get the obvious out of the way. I'm a heterosexual male. I love and adore women. I've grown to love Dakota Johnson ever since 2015. I saw her in 50 Shades of Grey at the theaters with the best relationship of my life. We're no longer together, but still, that taught me a lot. I like the characters in this movie. I like the cast of this movie. I love and I'm horny for Isabela Merced and of course Sweeney from Euphoria. I mean, come on, they're pretty to look at. I mean, as a dude, I literally was like, oh my god, dreams about them. Sorry to be honest, but I'm just being the truth with you right now. One thing too, before we talk about this review, I never watch trailers when I see a movie. That's just not what I do. I do see the marketing material they post on Instagram, such as the character posters or even the posters they use in the Instagram for the official feeds. I will look at that, but for the trailers, I don't, because I want the first experience to be the best. However, I did watch the trailers after I saw the initial showing in IMAX to get a better, comprehensive, better review for you folks. And I gotta say, when I watched the trailers, I'm like, yep, I can see why the comments, one of the comments was like, you don't need to see the future in order to see how this thing goes. I'm like, damn, dude, that's kind of pessimistic. No, that's kind of cynical. That's kind of already putting negative energy and hate into the world, into the vibes. I'm just not like that, dude. I want the movie to do best because then we get more better movies. The studios, everyone makes money, which is cool. But still, this movie has a lot to be desired, and which we'll talk about it. But I'm like, damn, dude, the trailer did not look good. And I didn't even know that, but now I did because I'm letting you know, folks, that this is a better review for you guys. However, the trailer in the soundtrack they used was pretty cool, which, yeah, but soundtrack, but it's a movie, we gotta see it. It feels like she is a mother trying to protect her cubs in this movie. Remember, this is an origin story that's set in 2003 New York. And by the way, did you catch that a Spider-Man reference? The guy that she's being a paralegal with, the paramedic, paramedic is Ben Parker. Ben Parker is the father of Spider-Man, which is cool. I mean, he's trying to hit on her. He's like, oh, you're cute and stuff. I'm like, oh, you know, some romance and stuff. But maybe later on she is a villain. But as of right now, she feels like a great person. She feels like a mother. You know, I mean, I'm rooting for her. Maybe later on she changes, things happen. But right now, this is what we got. And one of the things I gotta say, I had a fine time watching this movie. Although, let's start this off by saying this. The third act really suffers a lot. It feels like 1984's Wonder Woman, with a lot of exposition, kind of some shoddy dialogue, some drama, some running, some explosions in front of a neon sign. And the way the villain dies, I'm like, what the hell? I mean, yes, even the three beautiful women don't even have their superpowers yet in terms of this movie. They don't even suit up. They only suit up in flashback sequences and visions, and even later installments. It feels like the people who made the movie just wanted this to get out, saying, oh, wait for the next one, which we might not even get. But still, it's like, what the hell? I mean, yeah, it was cool that she uses her mind in some of the things and some of the superpowers, but still, the other girls don't have superpowers at this point in the story. Some people complain about a dumb and witty dialogue in the movie, and yeah, some of it is shoddy, but there is some good moments to be had, especially in the cab scene where the three beautiful women are in the back, and they're saying like they're incompulsive, and then Dakota Johnson's Madam Web says, your futures could have been so different, being like already their mom like, you little girls, and she shuts the thing even though it's glass and they could still hear and see. I'm like, wow, that had my theater chuckling a little bit in the point of the story. Let's talk about the characters real quick. Dakota Johnson plays as Madam Web, which is the main protagonist of the film, which is gorgeous, by the way. She plays as this paralegal trying to save lives when she encounters the first three beautiful girls at the train station. So she starts off just being like, I just need to save them, but over the course of the film, she transforms and even connects with them with an attachment of a mother trying to protect them. Sydney Sweeney, of course, no introduction. She's from Euphoria. I like her. She's a gorgeous. She plays as this unsecured girl with glasses trying to run from a family that she does not want to be in. She feels like your average girl, like, oh, she's trying to do best, and especially when Dakota Johnson like hates on the TV, she's like, I'm sorry. So she feels like the most loyal. Isabela Merced, which is the gorgeous Latina, by the way, she lives in the same building as Madam Web, but we don't know that until later on, and she also feels like the most studious in terms of studies from school, so like the brains or the smart one of the three girls. Last, you have Celeste O'Connor, which plays as this punk rock skater chick who is rebellious and goes against the norm. Remember, this movie was set in 2003, so there is a punk rock skater film like norm in that area as well. I mean, Tony Hawk came out, those video games, so I can see her as that like placeholder for such things. Basically, they're all connected because they have superpowers and have the mommy and daddy issues. Although, one thing I did like from the main leads of the girls, I mean, yeah, they're gorgeous and perfect and they're beautiful, but they do have chemistry. A lot of people are going to hate on me. They do have chemistry. They do vibe together. They do have their weird quirks and sequences and like their other quirks. Like, if you put them, delete the movie, just put them in like in a room in like a bar or whatever, yeah, I can see them like vibing, having a good time, partying or whatever. So that is believable. There's a cool scene, which I'm not going to like exploit it, but it is a cool scene. I don't want to say action scene, but it's like a chase scene, which Britney Spears talks the guy in the radio, he's like, hey everybody, this song is gonna be a hit, which is a massive hit. But now that I see or hear Toxic by Britney Spears, I'll think of that scene, which good or bad depending on what type of person you are, which that scene could have been a little bit better, but the soundtrack was at least a saving grace. Let's talk about the villain real quick. The villain, I'm sorry to be honest, but the villain leaves a lot to be desired. He is bland, your typical bad guy. I see the future, these girls are gonna kill me, I need to see them now. But he doesn't web swing. He just like jumps, he has super strength, he's speedy, he's fast, he's smart, but maybe he's driven by fear. I know in some interviews the guy's like, this is a different character, you know, he's driven by his visions, and I'm like, come on dude, like, let's be honest, like his typical bad guy, cynical stuff that just wants to kill the protagonist because they're gonna kill them later on. Maybe not now, but later on. I feel like one of the big problems is that this movie really focuses on a better sequel that we will probably not even get due to low audience and critic scores that will bring down the box office. It feels like the producers or the makers of this movie just wanted this movie out to be like, oh no, let's just focus on the future, because literally we only get to see their suit ups and their amazing suits in flashbacks and future sequences, not even in action. I mean, yes, they cake butt, but it's like on this bubble saying that it's in the future or it's in a flashback. But it's like, dude, if you don't make a compelling, great film now, people are not gonna come back. And I feel like that's what the people behind the camera were thinking. Oh, let's just put this out there to get them to come back. But if you don't, you need to make a good movie now. But they were just saying it'll get better. The second installment will get better. The second movie will be better. The seconds are gonna suit up, and they're not even suit up. Basically, give like a few minutes, maybe 3 minutes in total. Like I said, they should have skipped this origin story. Have you ever played the video game Spider-Man for PS4? He starts years after. They should have had this already, being comfortable. But I get it, you know, origin story. We have to do the origin story. Maybe the people demanded it or whatever. But it's like, dude, they just focus so much on the future instead of focusing on now, which was one of their big mistakes. Another problem about this movie is that this movie came out in 2024, which is now, but it feels like a little bit too late. Like, yes, origin stories are cool, but we don't want that anymore. I mean, yeah, we're cool with okay, good origin stories, but this movie's literally shoddy. I mean, yes, the only thing you would lose if this movie came out back then in like the years was you missed the amazing, beautiful, perfect cast, such as the girls that we talked about, but still, I was like, dude, I guess the only good thing about this movie is the beautiful women and like the lore and stuff and like the chemistry and the soundtrack. Everything else is really not that good, and that's just me being honest. Like, I'm looking at it critically, objectively. I'm taking my infatuation of the girls away. I'm just like, dude, this could have been a lot better. But still, at the end of the day, I'm gonna give this a D+. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you so much. Maybe consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, happy Valentine's Day weekend. Take care. Bye.